Hi, my name is Emily. Welcome back to my channel. My favorite makeup today is this. This is the 2017 holiday palette from Becca. This is the Apres Glow Face Palette. So in here you get several highlighters to pick from, plus a mineral blush and a good bronzer over here. I really love this palette. I actually used it the other day. I had an event where I had to change halfway through the day and go from my daytime to my nighttime look. And this was invaluable because I had my blush, I had several highlighters to choose from, and I had a good contour shade as well. So this thing is pretty great. And now, on to the video. Alright, so today I want to do a look with this. This is my Fenty Beauty Galaxy Palette. This is an all glitter palette that came out for holiday 2017. I'm super psyched about it because I think that the colors in it are really fantastic. I've only played with it a little bit. I haven't done a full look with it. I want to try a couple different primers with it today. So what I'm going to do is I have this. I have a Too Faced sample of glitter glue. I also have the NYX Glitter Primer that I picked up one of those. I'm also going to try it against my regular Urban Decay eyeshadow primer potion. This is the anti-aging. And then I'll also use this, which is my Kat Von D Lock-It Concealer Creme, because I also find that this makes, if I put this on my lid, that'll also get a good payoff with having the eyeshadow stick. I'm going to try this as well. I'm going to swatch these on my hand, see which one looks the best, and then the top two are going to go one on one eye, one on the other, so we'll see what happens. In terms of predictions, I'm not sure which of these four is going to be the most effective, but top two going on my face. So with the four options for glitter primer today, there is a variety in terms of how much it costs and how much product you're going to get. So this is the NYX Glitter Primer. $6 primer, you're going to get 10 milliliters of product inside this tube. So the Too Faced Glitter Glue, this is going to come in a full-size container that's going to be 10.4 milliliters for $20. So it's a comparable amount of product to the NYX primer, however, it's more than 3 times as much for the cost. The next closest would be this. This is my Urban Decay anti-aging eyeshadow primer potion. I actually did buy this on sale, so for me the price doesn't matter so much, but if you were going to buy this now, it's going to cost you $24 and you're going to get 10 milliliters of product. Actually, when I bought this came with 11 milliliters, but this is the old packaging and they have shrunk how much you get. And then the most expensive by far would be this. This is my Kat Von D Lock-It Concealer Creme. This is not necessarily an eyeshadow primer, but I have used this before when I've forgotten my primer and it actually works very well. So if I need to, I definitely do use it. So this is going to cost $26 and you're going to get 6.5 milliliters of product. So this is definitely more expensive and you do not get as much. So first off the bat, just in terms of texture, this NYX Glitter Primer is sticky, but it's also sort of like a moisturizer sensation, whereas the Too Faced is very sticky and very thick. The Urban Decay is very smooth and glidey. It doesn't stick as well. It's not designed to hold a glitter as much. And then the Kat Von D is also a much thicker formula and has a little bit more stick to it as well. So they're swatched on my hand, though you can't see them because I've now rubbed them in. But now I'm going to get out the palette itself and I'm going to put some of the product on each of those different primers. So in order to make this interesting, I'm going to take a color that I plan to use in this look. And that will be this color here, this really interesting sort of like purpley greeny shade, which I believe is called Jupiter Sand. So if you look at the back of my hand, this is Jupiter Sand without any sort of primer underneath it, so it's a little bit lighter, it's a little patchier. The top one, this is the NYX Glitter Primer. Below that we have the Too Faced, below that is the Urban Decay, and below that is the Kat Von D Lock-It Concealer Creme. So whether you can tell the difference so much, if I try to pull this closer without messing up my ring light. So in looking at them directly on my hand, I would say that definitely the Too Faced Glitter Glue has retained the most sparkle to it, but the NYX is pretty similar to it. The Kat Von D I think fared the worst, but the Urban Decay Primer Potion, the regular one, the anti-aging, is not that much different than that. They've all performed better than just a regular swatch without any primer, but I would say that the top two are definitely the ones I'm going to use today. Secondary test, I'm going to take this paper towel and I'm going to wipe to the side and see what happens. So that's with 3 wipes. The NYX actually looks the best, but the Too Faced is pretty close. The Urban Decay, a whole chunk of the shadow has come off. The Kat Von D's pretty much stayed the same, but it was also one of the lightest anyway. So I definitely see that from each of them I was getting fallout after brushing this down. But so far I'm pleasantly surprised with how the NYX and the Too Faced appear to be faring. So I know a big deal about this palette is a lot of people were annoyed that it doesn't have any matte shades. Frankly, that's okay with me. I do have a couple brushes that I'm going to try out today. If the brushes aren't working, I will use my finger instead. So the shadows I want to try to use today is I'd like to take Sublime across my lid. I'm going to take Jupiter Sand on my outer corner, and this color here, which is Ozone, I'm going to use that as an inner corner highlight. So those are the three I'm going to use because I'm going for sort of like a green sparkle look, and that's different from most of the other things I have. So I'm going to be putting the Too Faced Glitter Glue on this side of my face, and then on this side of my face will be the NYX Glitter Primer. Right off the bat, the Too Faced Glitter Glue feels really stiff and uncomfortable on my eyes. The NYX is much easier to apply, whereas the Too Faced sort of just sticks directly to my finger and when I'm trying to put it on. Once I have it on, it's doing a similar sensation to sort of pulling my lid together. Anyway, so for that first color, I'm going to take Sublime, and let's see how this works with this eyeshadow brush. Alright, not a huge amount of payoff, but again, I didn't know that that was necessarily going to work with this kind of a brush. So you really have to pack it onto the brush in order to get it to pay off on the eye, but it does look very nice now that I have really sort of to pack it in there, but I don't want to disrupt the shadow too much in my zeal. This is not necessarily the opaqueness I'm hoping for. I'm going to try patting it on with my finger. Oh, that's better. I think in the spirit of this endeavor, I am going to try to pat this on with a finger for both sides because I think it's definitely performing better that way. So first off, I think these glitter shadows are really very beautiful. They are a little fussy, but if you use your finger, it really does apply quite nicely. And I think I'm getting a good payoff on both sides. In terms of fallout, there's a little bit of fallout actually on the Too Faced side, but I'm not done yet, so let's not get too ahead of ourselves. So next I'm going to take that Jupiter Sand color and I'm going to pat that towards the outside of my lid. And then I will try to use a brush to sort of blend it a little bit. It does go on very nicely. I'm not sure I'm getting a good blend though. I also missed and sort of stamped myself in the eye with a glitter finger, so that is not the NYX's fault. That was entirely my fault. Alright, so now I have those two colors, and I'm going to go on for my inner corner highlight, and for that I'm taking the shade Ozone. Ozone's really got a gold glitter to it, whereas Jupiter Sand and Sublime definitely have a green glitter, which I was really excited about. I'm actually really quite pleased with how this looks. Part of the fallout on the NYX side is my own fault because my finger slipped and I sort of smudged underneath my eye, but for the most part they actually, both of them, don't have too much fallout. Now the test, can I dust the fallout away? On that side, no. It is resisting my efforts to brush it away. Similarly, it's just, it is sticking a bit. I'm trying a new moisturizer today, which I also think is a little sticky and not necessarily most friendly to my face today. This is Locke. He wanted to say hello. He's a very needy man cat. Can I put some glitter primer on you? Would you like to be a sparkle cat? If we take these two primers individually, so this side being the Too Faced, the Too Faced is kind of thick. It's a little sticky to get onto the eye, like your finger immediately starts to stick once you start applying it, but once it's on, it's fine. It feels like it's definitely going to hold the glitter onto your face. On contrast, the NYX primer is definitely smoother. It feels like a normal primer does. It's easy to glide on, though it does become sticky once it's set in onto your eye. In terms of fallout, I got fallout on both sides. The fallout on this side is a little worse in the corner just because I missed with my finger, and this stuff is pretty unforgiving. If you touch a part of your face you didn't want to put glitter on, it is now stuck to my face. My biggest issue with these two things is definitely going to be the cost. So this NYX Glitter Primer, this is a $6 primer. You're going to get 10 milliliters of product in this. You can get that at the drugstore, you can get that at Ulta, you can get it at a NYX store if you have one available to you. You've got multiple options for that. If you're going to go for the Too Faced, if you're getting a full size of this, since I had a sample I didn't have to pay for that, but full size of that is $20. You're going to get 10.4 milliliters, so it's a very minuscule difference, but it's a pretty big price jump. So the real question is this worth $14 extra? In my experience, I wouldn't say that it is. I think both of them are a good primer, but I actually preferred putting this one on. I felt like it was easier to blend the shadows on this side. And while this stuff is nice, I don't think I'm going to splurge for this if I can pick this guy up. I can get 3 of these and still have $2 left over, so I think I'm definitely going to go with the NYX primer. Obviously I need to practice a little bit more with this Fenty palette. This is not the most cohesive look, but I did want to try a couple of different colors and see how well they blended together, and frankly they are very shiny, and I'm pretty excited to find a good holiday look for it. So I'm going to play with it some more. Maybe I'll do another video and I'll let you know how I'm doing with that. But in terms of the battle of the eyeshadow primers, I would definitely say that the NYX Glitter Primer is definitely the winner. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. If you're enjoying this content, please subscribe, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye!